just gonna do a short, but I think for me, do I love to just drone on, and I only upload so rarely now these days, which probably is in part why my mental has declined, pushing away creative endeavors, which is one thing you can do. Don't If you start feeling like the rope gone, like leaving your fingers, and you start losing rope, try to grab onto whatever hobbies you can that you enjoy doing. It doesn't have to be the best version of those hobbies. Like you don't have to sit there and do like a fully edited hour long epilogue of some content that you love to create. Maybe do like a couple shorts, maybe a few minutes. I don't know. Just find something that keeps you tied in. Because for me, um, I probably kept it going up until about like late December, and then that's when I let the rope go. And I just let it all go, pretty much all in all. Like I probably played my PS5 like probably less than like 10 times. Like I actually play games on my PS5 less than like 10 times since like early January. And I bought Sparking Zero at college game day, college football, um, and had other games too that I wanted to catch up on. So, I mean, maybe that's like a little bit of a like maybe 15 times, but it's not a lot. Like it's definitely not a lot in comparison, especially to what I played, which I would normally play like maybe with work and all that shit, and just like the stress of trying to make something out of my life and get the fuck out of like this rut that I was in that didn't have anything to do with health anxiety. But obviously probably fed into me going to health anxiety mode. That rut, I didn't feel like I had enough mental time to play games as well. So that being said, I still play like probably 3 or 4 times a week, just not very frequently and not very long durations. But that's that would be what recovery look like for me at this point. Just turn the game on, lose yourself for maybe 20, 30 minutes. Don't I mean there's tons of time in the day that I spend on Reddit looking at some fucking guy mention some disease that instantly like just like triggers me, just even if it's like 1% trigger, triggers me a little bit. So instead of doing that and fucking my brain up, play a video game, distract myself. Um Hyperstimulation, that's what the point of this video was. So let me give a kind of the run up to like how I got to this state. Last Friday, and I think I did a video on this, I already uploaded it. It should be uploaded, the B12 one. Basically last Friday had what I'd assume a heart palpitation around 3 a.m. or so. And I mean I've had those at this point. I guess I've been going through this for a while, right? But it really just felt like it wasn't beating in my normal rhythm, like what I typically would expect. Which that kind of is what a palpitation does. It's still in rhythm, but it's just not like kind of you expect it. I mean, I'm pretty sure I've had it to where like my heart like did not beat in sinus rhythm, even though my Apple Watch told me it did. I didn't trust my Apple Watch, but I don't know. Maybe it did, and I just didn't trust the devices that I kind of at the same time. I'll trust them OD at one point, and I'll just not trust them at all at another point. So it's no consistency whatsoever for me. But that being said, so at that point, I was up from like 3 a.m. to 7 a.m. just like I couldn't sleep. Maybe I got stimulated at that point. I don't know what. Maybe I just didn't really trust my heart was like beating where it needed to be at. I did like 20, 30 EKGs on my Apple Watch. Submitted them quality, because I'm getting sinus arrhythmia, which, I had to accept at a certain point. Like, even though they told me it was just normal, but I had to accept it because I literally couldn't just keep on, like, not sleeping. That was a normal reading, that it just, basically, sinus arrhythmia just means you kind of, like, your heart breathes out, and I think it increases, and then it slows down as you breathe in. I think that's how that works. Which this just by like using a quality algorithm just was not a reading I got particularly often to that point. But apparently, I think somebody said quality updated their algorithm. Somebody just texted me something. I just like reading like, is this? I didn't just read that anyway. So yeah, let me say I think quality updated their app, which I found out they did update maybe like a week or two after, or a day or two after I had this whole little tizzy. So I think their algorithm updated because they're giving a lot of sinus arrhythmia for what would have been like sinus rhythm, like a month or two before. I don't know if they just like expounded what they consider sinus rhythm. I don't know. I mean, I'm still getting sinus rhythms occasionally, but that like day I got like no sinus rhythm, just straight arrhythmia across the board, which just sounds bad, right? Like it just sounds scary. And now, we're not getting that result to that point. I always should just basically be like kind of a story to tell you, like, don't use fucking quality. Like, just don't. Am I going to say there are people? I've done the Googles, so you don't have to do it. You can trust me. Or is there somebody out there that has had their life saved by like quality / the Apple Watch ECG? Yes. All right. You don't have to look it up because you're gonna traumatize. You don't think I'll have to traumatize for you. Yes, there's there's at least one person on Reddit that has a thread that went through something that they thought was, maybe not benign, but just like shortness of breath, stuff that just like could be a lot of things, right? And if you use quality, maybe the Apple Watch ECG didn't catch it. Although, if you go into real like atrial fibrillation, usually Apple Watch will catch it. Even in all those threads I read that I shouldn't have read, I don't think I saw anybody that like did it, and like the Apple Watch didn't. It was like sinus rhythm, and then like quality was like, no, this is something else. So again, don't look this stuff up because you'll get triggered. But it's just a thing where I don't think you necessarily need quality. And quality's gonna give you a lot of shit that you really don't need. Like you don't need to know about your QTC unless like you're somebody that's you need to know about your QTC and all that. Literally, if you look this stuff up, which you shouldn't, but if you look at stuff like QTC and all that stuff, like this is information that like probably 99% of the population, 99.9% of the population would like not need to know about. Like how long their QTC is, how short the QTC is. It's like irrelevant information damn near. But I knew about it because I used the app. And with the knowledge of the app, a very daily occurrence of me checking my health records, because I've been to the ER now, I think they said 13 times in the last 3 months. And that's just, I think that's all the ER. The ER's within the same system in Auburn, so I think that there's 2 ERs. So I think, I guess counting those 2 ER visits, there's one I took back home, so that was 14. But who's counting, right? It's not counting urgent care visits, which are certainly in the double digits themselves. So we'll just ballpark and say about probably 25 healthcare visits, which is a low ball, and since mid-December, early December, so that's pretty bad, yeah. Where the fuck? Oh yeah, because the records. So yeah, I basically have had like, and if you have your Apple Health thing or whatever, don't link your portal records to that. Like, at least make it hard to look at your records. You should know where you are at health wise, of course, but like, it's so easy for me just to go to my like health app and then see like all my records, which can be very productive for the right person. But for me, it's just like, oh, my potassium's going down from like 3.9 to 3.6. Which these things can fluctuate, right? Like, I know like that's low end of the normal range, and like obviously you'd want to be a little bit higher, but like these things can fluctuate. Like it's not like written in stone, that it has to be like if I did a blood test for potassium 10 times in a row, it's at least a good chance that one of those are not going to be the same reading as the other 10. Depending on how you space those out, of course. What you have in your system, stuff like that. So, that being said, getting to the point here, B12 shot, high anxiety after. Before the anxiety shot, I wasn't that high, but I just wanted to do EKG because of the sinus arrhythmia. I don't need to go to the ER visit that preceded the sinus arrhythmia. I said it was normal, right? So, I went to an urgent care that did my iron. They did let me just get to the point. They did a B12 shot, and like, because I had like within range but very low B12, and like literally like it was like I think 400 to 1600. I was like 402, so basically like damn out of range. But you got to keep in mind all this stuff works together. Like my red blood cell, and this is the thing, like you won't get if you go to like a shitty naturopath or like some urgent care, like person just wants to get money from giving you a shot or whatever, they don't have your full comprehensive like outlook on like your like she has no clue what my red blood count was like, what my oxygen amount in my blood, like like maybe she had that, but like there's stuff that like there's other macro readings that come together. And it's like with vitamins, like I think I used this in the video, but like if you have like really high sodium and really low potassium, that gives like a different image of your health than like if you just said somebody had a low potassium. Like, I mean, those two things both matter, but like one gives I think a different picture of somebody's health than the other. Um, but I mean, like, what's the chance like some fucker at a urgent care is gonna like ask you like, oh, fucking, how's your potassium doing? So like, how's your like they're gonna give you like just they're just gonna give you the shot and keep it moving because they don't have any real shot of negligence if they give you that shot. You sign whatever papers you sign you don't read. So